So hello, everybody. It is me, Demetra K, and I am sitting here with Donovan, the recovering Democrat Sadiq. And it is Sunday, so that must mean that it's the Demetra K Show, where we promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even, because we are great people, but we can also always improve. And I'm sorry if I'm glitching a little bit. Does it seem like I'm glitching a little bit?
No.
No, I'm good. Okay, so hopefully the internet holds up. Everybody's got their air conditioning on, and Houston sucks, right?
And everybody's at home on the internet. The
Yeah.
kids are PlayStationing and all that other good stuff.
All of that. So I'd like to say a big giant welcome and thank you to YouTube and Facebook, the other side of the conversation. You all are not just viewers, but you are participants, because we feel like you should be included in the conversation as well. Now, this is probably one of the only shows that we try to read each and every one of your comments, although we've not been able to do that lately because we've got a lot more people coming into the conversation, which is a great thing. But I will try to read your comments as much as I can. Donovan will be scanning the comment section as well. And so we're going to have this conversation about Monique and DL. Now, it's not really necessarily about their whole little riff per se, but I like to call this David versus Goliath, and I'll get into it in just a few reasons in a few minutes as to why I want to call it that. But before I do, well, actually, Donovan, I'll let you go ahead and get in there. That way, everybody else can come on, and then I'll continue from that point.
So sure, absolutely. Thank you guys for tuning in. When it's Sunday, you know that it's Demetra K. A lot of stuff's going on in the entertainment field and in the sports world. A lot of delusion out there between a lot of people, men and women. A lot of delusion going on. But do us a favor, hit that like and subscribe button if you will, and please, on your platforms, please share, because again, a lot of the stuff that we're doing in the new Black media is getting out, and people are being informed because you're sharing it on your platforms. So the more we get the word out, the more people will wake up and kind of realize, say, hey, I thought about that too. So if you are really want to keep up with Demetra K, become a member. That way you will get reminded when she drops videos and all that other good stuff that is actually happening. And also, before we go, if you guys did not know, brother Phil Scott had a birthday, so he turned the big 4-3. So happy birthday, brother Phil Scott.
Yep, and that's his birthday is actually tomorrow. So yes, we all got together to celebrate. It was a surprise party, and he was very surprised. So it was a lot of fun. So yes, happy early birthday to that of Phil Scott of the African Diaspora News Channel, which I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with. But if you're not, go over there to the African Diaspora News Channel, like, subscribe, and all of those good things. And there's also an app out. So if you guys would go over there and click on the information so you can get the app, or go onto the website rather, so you guys can get stuff that we don't normally talk about on the channel for a whole lot of other reasons. So anyway, before I get started, I'm going to say hello to everybody on there. Before I get started, I want to put this up. All right. Emotional intelligence is most often defined as the ability to perceive, use, understand, manage, and handle emotions. People with high emotional intelligence can recognize their own emotions and those of others, use emotional information to guide thinking and behavior, discern between different feelings and label them appropriately, and adjust emotions to adapt to environments. So, Demetra, why did you put that up? I put that up because I know I could kind of forecast and tell the future a little bit. That is probably going to be a little bit of a heated discussion. So I want to just kind of always remind myself, Donovan, and the audience to use some emotional intelligence when it comes to the conversation we're going to have, because I know a lot of times things can get heated and we can maybe say things that we shouldn't say to each other. But I also want us to know that we are not always going to agree, and that's okay. That's how iron sharpens iron, because if we all agree all the time, then what do we learn differently, right? We're just a bunch of people saying, yes, I agree. Oh, yes, I agree. But no new information gets to come in. And so I would ask that everybody involved in this discussion today use some sort of emotional intelligence and basically, control yourself, I guess is what I'm trying to say, so we can have a conducive conversation so we can learn from each other. And I hope that helps. All right, back to what I want to talk about. All right. So as you guys may or may not know, within the last week by this point, DL, let's put it the other way around, Monique had a problem with DL. They headlined, or I don't even want to put that word out there, but they were on a show together in Detroit, and some how it got mixed up, I guess. Now, I guess no one really knows who mixed it up, but Monique thought she was supposed to be the headliner. DL says, no, I was supposed to be the headliner. So people are saying, well, maybe it was a thing between the promoter. So anyway, during Monique's set, she decided to take DL Hughley to task. And on a few of her lives that she did with her husband, Sydney, she says that I knew that I was going to get up there and I was going to hand him his ass. Those are the words that she used. She's going to hand him his ass because he has spent a few years talking bad about her on everybody's show. He's gone on Vlad. He's gone on Steve Harvey's show. He's even called her mentally ill at a few times and things like that. And so she said that she's one of those people, basically, I'm not going to talk about you, you know, to where you can't feel it. I want to wait till I get to the same room with you and call you to the carpet. And so that's basically what she did. And then from that point, DL and Monique has been going back and forth on the internet. Oh, you this, you that, you this, you that, and all this other stuff, right? And so I don't know if you guys have followed Monique. I would really say really the last 13 years, because she says, I've been in this thing for the last 13 years where she has faced a blackballing from that Oprah, Tyler Perry, Lee Daniels, and even Will Packer, Lionsgate, the studio, due to her not wanting to promote the movie Precious for free. You guys remember she won Academy Award for that. The movie wasn't really suspected to do great things, but it did. And so they wanted her to tour for free. And she says, I cannot do that. This, that, and the other. And from that point, she claims that she had been blackballed. In fact, that she got Tyler Perry on a recording twice, admitting that he was wrong and that he was going to apologize to her. And he never did. Then, of course, you guys saw her lately. Lee Daniels joined her on stage when she was doing a stand-up and came up to her and said, I'm sorry, you know, for what I did. And so they've mended their ways and they're now working on a new project. And so Monique has put out a lot of receipts in that people have been blackballing her. Now, if you guys also follow Monique, Monique is not one to bite her tongue, obviously. She calls people out. And I would say Monique is very pro-Black. And, you know, she likes to throw the raccoon word around a couple of times here and there to different people, like that of Steve Harvey, where she went on his show and he basically told her, hey, you're going to have to eat a couple of butter biscuits if you want to just get the check. Never mind, you know, integrity. He pretty much said that. Just get paid. And so from that point, she called him a raccoon and still called him one the other day. She brought him into it because, as she said, DL and Steve Harvey were talking about her, saying that on something they were working with her on. They had to edit some things because they didn't want her to embarrass herself. And she basically said that they have completely just lied on her. Okay. Now, I'm bringing David and Goliath into this for a few reasons. For one, for those of you guys who may or may not be familiar with DL Hughley, he is, and I'm going to just put it out there. I know some people are going to get mad, but I'm going to say what I feel like I need to say using emotional intelligence. He is a lapdog of the Democratic Party, right? He has done a lot of bidding for the Biden administration, Kamala Harris, and, you know, talking a whole bunch of stuff about Trump. And in fact, let me go ahead and put this up so I can draw more of a correlation as to what I'm trying to say. One moment. This is technology, real time. Let's see here. Oh, shoot, where'd it go? Donovan, you can jump in there if you want.
Well, you know, I don't really follow all this stuff because it's not really interesting. You know, a lot of the comedians I don't really care for nowadays because I don't really find them that funny because most of their act is either sexually based or just outright, just straight vulgar. But let's just take in the context this. Yes, Monique is an Academy Award winner. And, you know, when you've got such accolades, you would assume that a person like that would at least get the honor or it's kind of like the James Brown thing when you're an entertainer. Remember the Beatles when they were on Ed Sullivan? How many of you guys remember you guys are too young to remember that, but go back on YouTube and you'll see an interview where the Beatles had came to America and they were on the Ed Sullivan show, right? The Beatles were the biggest thing on the planet at the time. And James Brown was on the show. And the Beatles, you know, when you do a show, the headliner that closes the show, that's the biggest person that ends it, right? The Beatles said, no, we can't close the show. And Ed Sullivan and those guys were like, no, you guys are the Beatles. They go, no, that's James Brown. That's James Brown. He has to close the show because they took some inspiration from James Brown, and that's kind of, you would think you would defer something in regards to that. That's usually courtesy.
Yeah, and like I said, my issue is not even because I don't know who was supposed to go first, this, that, and the other. I didn't want to get into that, but needless to say, some things have been said. People are mad at Monique because she brought up the fact that DL Hughley did not defend his daughter when she said that she was sexually assaulted by his good friend. He basically called his daughter a liar, and he admitted to doing it, said that he regretted doing it and all of that. But back to what I was saying about DL Hughley being a lapdog of the Democratic Party, as you see here, this was a quote from him. He says, "You mad? Biden said you ain't black. I'm mad. I'm mad Trump refused to hang the portrait of the first black president in the White House," right? So anyway, watch this. It's very brief.
I just told you a little while ago, these leaders that they call leaders, this included Lena Horne, this included Dick Gregory, and this included comedians, comics, trumpet players, baseball players. Show me in the white community where a comedian is a white leader. Show me in the white community where a singer is a white leader, or a dancer or a trumpet player is a white leader. These aren't leaders. These are puppets and clowns that have been set up over the white community and over the black community by the white community, and have been made celebrities and usually say exactly what they know that the white man wants.
So I put up Dear Malcolm X because I think he said it so eloquently. We often in the black community get entertainers, and as he said, clowns and puppets, to tell us and do the bidding of white supremacy. And, Trump was guilty of it too. So I don't want to say it was just the Democrats, but we're speaking of the Democrats because that's who DL goes so hard in the paint for, right? Now, we all know, and I think we can all admit that black people have gotten not one tangible specifically for us from the Biden administration at all, right? If we have somebody, please throw it in the comment section. We haven't gotten one tangible. And you would think that DL knows that, right? And so as I'm myself watching this whole situation unfold, the scenario of David and Goliath came into my mind. And I'm like, you know what? What's really in it for Monique to do any of this? And I said, I think it's up to Monique. I think she's chosen, if you will. And I think it's up to her to really call out what's going on to black people with people in her peer group, right? Because she's called him out as far as doing that and a whole host of other things. And so I'm telling y'all, if you guys have watched my stuff before, I am Team Monique, and I agree with her in not allowing people to, run roughshod all over you. And for you guys who are DL fans, I'm not trying to argue with y'all, but why don't y'all have an issue when DL Hughley is bullying everybody else? And he does bully everybody else. He has an opinion, and this is what she said as well. He has an opinion about everybody else. He says whatever he wants, and nobody gets mad. But somebody says something about him, then everybody's all upset. Oh, Monique is a horrible person, and she's this, and she's that, and she's that. So I'm personally rooting for Monique because I think Monique, not just DL, but since he's the one in the spotlight, I think she's the one to really call attention to what is being sold to us as black people. As Malcolm X said, they put these black entertainers and they call them our leaders. And I know a lot of y'all who are DL fans, y'all in some regards think DL Hughley is the leader, right? DL Hughley, he calls everybody out and everybody, woo! But like, the most people I see that's rooting for DL, you know who it is? It's black women. It's black women that's rooting for DL against this black woman who is saying that he has done me wrong. And there's evidence to say that he has done her wrong. And I know people are sore about Jada. Jada's, turning out to really be a horrible person. But as somebody pointed out, he rolled Jada Pinkett to death, but she didn't go up on the stage and slap Chris Rock. Will did. But she is a horrible person. Y'all remember back in the day when Don Imus called black women of that basketball team nappy-headed hoes? And he said they are nappy-headed hoes. That was DL. But you got all these black women who are rooting for DL and all of the nonsense that he does and helps perpetuate on the Black community, but you want to call Monique a bad person. So it's like, we say we want people to really stand up for us. Now, some of that might be a little self-serving on Monique's part, so I'm not going to say that it's not. But we say we want people to really stand up and speak truth to power and all that. But when they do, we want to drag them down, call for them to be canceled. So, Donovan, what say you before we get into these comments?
Yeah, just real quick, I'm going to be very, very brief.
I'm not
on any team, but the thing is, I antiquate what Monique went through in her industry to what Muhammad Ali went through when he was stripped of his boxing license. Now, I grew up in the 70s and I saw a lot of Muhammad Ali fights, right? On ABC, Wild World of Sports. How many of you guys remember that? And he was fighting like bums of the week, right? And making the money back that he was denied of in his prime. So I think at this point, Monique has the receipts, and I think that she should get the just due that she deserves for taking the hits that she took unnecessarily. She exposed the fact that she didn't do anything wrong. And yet we still persecute this woman. Is it because she's a woman? Is it because we're jealous that she got an Academy Award and she's the most decorated comedian? I mean, there's so many things to this. But at the end of the day, just like I used the James Brown analogy, in some situations, because like I said, when you have a Steve Harvey and a DL Hughley out here who say it's okay to coon to get your money, and Monique says the right thing, that integrity should always be first, who are you going to follow? I'll follow the one that says integrity first.
But unfortunately, Donovan, that's not how we get down. We like sound bites and, jokes. And like I said, I think the whole situation is very unfortunate on both of their behalf. But I mean, Monique has lost out on a lot by standing on her principles. But, I guess that's not what we do nowadays. But anyway, let me get to y'all comments. We done talked enough. Ivory, I hope I said that right. How you doing? He says, David and Goliath. So who is God Almighty standing within your mind? Well, I know that for those of you guys who read the Bible, it says the righteous shall not be forsaken. And so I consider Monique to be righteous. Now, did she go about what she did the right way? Yeah, I think there's other ways she could have did it. But I know that Monique has been calling truth to power for a very long time. But yet, nobody really wants to talk about that. Y'all mad because she, did to DL what DL does to everybody else. And it's funny when he does it. But when she did it to him, it's like, she a horrible person. But it's like, so how do y'all make the difference between what she did and what he does all the time? And most notably, he went on to Vlad, and which is why a lot of other people boycotted Vlad, because DL was on the show and Vlad lied on Minister Louis Farrakhan, and DL didn't check him. So, I mean, that for me is one of the big reasons why I personally am not a DL Hughley fan, because he sat up there and let him lie, and I'm in this, okay. Anyway, Moni, how you doing? He says, much Detroit love to you guys. Yes, we are enjoying our Sunday, and I hope you are as well. Beverly, how you doing? He says, Demetri and Donovan Rockville. Scott looks younger than 43. Yes, indeed. Black don't crack. How you doing, Robin Monet? What's going on, the Pioneer? How you doing?
Yes, it does.
Pioneer says, if you know the true history of the ancient land, then neither the Israelites, David, or the Philistines, Goliath are indigenous to that land. They just occupy it. Okay, well, thank you for the history lesson. And you also say the real owners of that land are the Canaanites people and original Black people. Okay, well, thank you for that. Channy, how you doing? Rain, Jafia, Don, how you doing? Thank you for moderating. And Ali, how you doing? Says, waiting to see my girlfriend. How are you today? I am doing well. How are you doing? Thunder, how you doing? Tracy, what's going on with you? And Pioneer says, I'm not sure which one of them you could call Goliath, because Monique and DL are pretty huge in the entertainment industry. Neither is an underdog. So I wasn't talking about their skill set as far as entertainers. I was talking about calling truth to power, right? So that's what I was talking about. I hope I was clear about that. And Street Nasty Entertainment, how you doing? You said shalom and hey, Queen Demetri, fellow King Donovan, and royal family in the chat. Salute. Yes, indeed. Ali says, if you had an email address, if I had an email address for you, I would send you something daily. Oh, okay. Well, it's around there somewhere.
No picks. No picks, please. No picks.
Hey, Easy. How you doing? Says, hello, D. Donovan family. D, please speak on that shooting in South Carolina to the life of the 8-year-old. So I haven't heard anything about that at all. Is that something that happened recently? I kind of been out of the loop for the last 2 days. So if that happened recently, please enlighten me. Pioneer says, sis, you've been looking exceptionally beautiful. Oh, thank you. He says, for these past several weeks, ever since you got back from the Dominican Republic, not sure what happened. I had an awakening. I was glad to be here. As you guys know, I almost got snatched up along with my daughter in the DR. And Ivory, you said, before you bring God Almighty into this, you should know the scriptures first to play with God. Well, I don't personally follow the Bible, but I tell you this, I got 2 of my degrees from Christian college. I spent a copious amount of time in church, and I was born into the Nation of Islam. So I hope that's enough credentials for you. And Capricorn is, how you doing? TJ, what's going on? Sunlight, how you doing, girl? I have started that raw diet with fruits and vegetables, and so far it's not too bad. I struggled a little bit earlier, but I think I'm gonna make it. So thank you for the inspiration.
Wait. Didn't you have a couple of ribs last night?
No, sir. Okay, so let me go on down to some new people who came on here. William Terry, how you doing? And the agitator, how you doing? And Sunlight says, as we should. Okay, so I'm gonna catch up to these comments. And Rain says, Monique's contract looked more legitimate, just saying. And that's what the argument was. Said that his was a memo, a deal memo, which was not a contract, wasn't signed, but hers was. And I guess people could really argue about that forever. And Easy says, no worries here, D. Not a DL fan. He's a Democratic pawn. And I don't know how people can't see that, right? And Pioneer says, well, Detroit is a good place to have a fight. They'd fit right in with the rest of the population. Wow. And let's see here. Go all the way down. Brandon, how you doing?
Did Moni hear that?
I'm staying out of that. Brandon, how you doing? Says, did she ever produce the recording of Tyler Perry saying any of that? Yes. And I have heard it. Go on YouTube and you can hear it for yourself. I mean, I'm not one of those people that just lie. I heard it. And that's why I said every time Monique says something, she's produced receipts. I don't know why, we are just, what? Can I ask y'all a question? This is rhetorical. Why are we so closed off to information? Because there's a lot of people.
It doesn't fit the narrative. It doesn't fit our narrative that we've been taught for so long about a person or an industry or a certain thing.
Yeah, because there's people I don't like, but I'm adult enough to agree with them if they say something right. Like a lot of y'all who are, Kevin Samuels fans, RIP. I didn't like a lot of things that he said, but I agree with some of the things he said. But I just think that's what adults do. I don't think we say, I don't like nothing they said because I don't like them. Like, damn, did he tell the truth once? He told the truth once. Be an adult enough to say it. So I say all that to say, Brandon, is yes, I have heard it, and she has played it a few times. So yes, the information and the evidence is there. And Beverly, how you doing? Let's see who else came on here. Darius, how you doing? He says, I'll pass on the discussion that I find pointless. Okay, well, tell your ass, brother. And let's see who else is on here. Sean, how you doing? And let's see here. I'm just kind of going, oh, how you doing? Long time no see. He says she had no act planned her entire act. And she said that. So it's not a secret. She says, you said her entire act was dissing DL. She has not been funny for a while. I think funny is subjective because there's a lot of people who don't find DL funny, Kevin Hart, even Dave Chappelle. Figure that, right? So funny is subjective. I mean, what's funny to you may not be funny to me. So, again, we are not a monolith when it comes to who we like or think is funny, right? And also, you say, I disagree with DL on his political stance, but Monique was wrong, period. Again, that's a matter of opinion. What have Monique done lately?
Yeah, DL doesn't have a political stance. He's a paid operative of the Democratic Party. There's a difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's a difference when you're getting paid like an employer from what his political stance is. He doesn't have a political stance.
And you said, what has Monique done lately? So you mean as far as her working? Well, she signed a contract with 50 Cent to be on one of his, biggest shows. 50 Cent has 5 of the top watched shows in Black households, and she's going to be on one of those. So I don't know if that's what you mean. And you say a stand-up and acting are 2 different genres. Okay. Says, Demetri, I love you, but stay on task. She was wrong straight up. Well, I love you too, but I'm going to do what I'm going to do. We're going to have a discussion here. And I know that y'all don't like what I'm saying, and that's fine. Maybe this is not your cup of tea. Come back when I'm serving, I don't know, some green tea, jasmine tea, blood orange, whatever you like. But if this is not your cup of tea, then gracefully bow out because we are going to continue to have this conversation.
But I have a question in regards to that. How do we learn or be accepting of other people's opinions or thoughts if you don't have the discussion? If every time you hear something you don't like, how do you expect to grow? How do you expect to grow? I mean, wouldn't that be the same as, okay, like the white supremacists? I just hate black people. But why? I don't know. I just hate them. Come on.
Thank you, Donovan. You know what? You're growing. I applaud you. And the Picaro seat. How you doing? And Michael, Jan Michael, how you doing? You say applause. And the Picaro seat, you says Monique feels like some kind of abusive predator. Like she wouldn't tell on her daddy if he was a low-key weirdo. I don't even know how to respond to that, because how do you know? Do you know, Monique? How do you know she would or she would not do that? And, Monique was sexually abused by her brother, and her dad did nothing, which is why she fell out with Oprah, because Oprah brought her family on against her will and her wishes and talked about that. And she says, I don't get along with my family because I was sexually abused and my father and my mom did nothing. And so Oprah did it anyway and aired out her dirty laundry. And so she said that Oprah betrayed her trust. Also, Oprah being a survivor of sexual abuse, and she didn't respect her. So I hope that's new information for you.
Yeah, and when people bring up the sexual abuse thing, are you guys aware that in the Black community, that is either it's happened within your family or somebody happened. It's something that, and I'm not saying it's right, but that is a big problem in the Black community, sexual abuse that goes on. Like you said, it happened to Oprah, it happened to Monique, and all kinds of people that can relate to something like that. Not saying it's a good thing, but that is a real problem that happens within a lot of communities. We're talking about our community. So why wouldn't you believe? And, who are we to tell her how she's supposed to feel about that?
And Tay, I hope I said that right. Douglas, how you doing? It says priority messed up. I'm mad we have not wiped these white supremacists off the earth and get our reparations $400 million a year for each FBA till they pass away. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know about wiping them off the face of the earth, but definitely try to unify first, right? I think we should start there. But welcome to the chat anyway. And Robin, you say Team Monique, and Jafar, you say he dogged Cosby. Yeah, he called Cosby a rapist. And Bill Cosby has never been he's been accused of rape, but he's never been charged with rape or convicted of rape. And so yet he's running around calling him a rapist, but yet he didn't have that same energy for the man who did the very same thing to his daughter. So I don't know. I'm just trying to make some sense of some things here. Okay, so let's see who else came on here. Ooh. Let's see here, because my comment skipped up. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to find my spot again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Capricornus, you say, I'm team common sense. Okay. And Ivory, you said the same thing. All right. And Robin says he talked trash about Angela Stanton too. Then when Angela rolled up on him, he started screaming for security in the airport. He showed it, and he dogged that woman from one way to the other way. But yet when she went to confront him about it, he hollering for security. So why is it that y'all giving DL a pass for brutalizing people on his platform, but y'all, then y'all mad at Monique for calling it out, or anybody else? Like, I'm trying to see how we are reasonably thinking people and are not weighing the two as well. Y'all say Monique bullied DL, but DL does it all the time, and y'all not mad. I'm trying to figure out how y'all come to this reasoning here. And Sunlight says, what did Jada do? What I meant? So the whole slap thing and all of that. And Brandy says everybody wants to be pro-Black when they're not getting what they want. But as soon as white man gives them butter biscuits they want, all the Black power ish goes out the window. But if you follow Monique, which it doesn't sound like you do, Monique has not done that. Monique has not sold out. Monique actually has been calling truth to power. So I'm one of those people. I'm really huge on trying to get as much information as I can before I just throw out statements. You know what I mean? So I don't know if you were meaning that for Monique. The Carl C says Monique is so talented, but comes off as just phony and all that baby talk. Well, some people have said that. And Jermaine, how you doing? Says ABC, wow, World of Sports was the shiznit. Yep. Okay. So that's something you said, Donovan. Pioneer says, I don't care too much for DL's humor either. He looked to me Too mean to be, I think you meant to me to be funny, in my opinion. Or too mean to be funny, in my opinion. Laugh out loud, kind of like Paul Mooney. Paul sounded angry to me, but funny. Yeah, Paul Mooney was very funny. And Daryl B, how you doing? He says, late, but glad to be here. We're glad you're here as well. And our people are agreeing with you, Donovan. Gloria, how you doing? He says, DL is a piece of shit. I wish Monique would not waste her time with him. He's a lost cause. Yeah, I can't agree with you, but I'm glad that she's doing it, because I think that he does need to be held to the carpet. Why does he get to get away with doing what he does? Like, when did he become the moral authority, or as Malcolm X said at the beginning, the leader to where he speaks for us, right? When? I mean, anybody who would agree with Joe Biden saying, you ain't black if you don't vote for me, it's like, really? Okay. And Channing, you say, I applaud her for calling him out. Some say she should have said it behind closed doors. She took my mother's stance. When you pitch your tent, I'm going to camp, not great diction, but you get the point. Follow the white money and the power. Yeah, and that's pretty much what Monique says. She goes, now I'm not a coward. I'm not going to, try to do it behind closed doors, anything like that. I want to call him to the carpet where he was. She said, it was my goal to call him out and basically mess up his rotation. And she said when he came on there after her, he really didn't have his, his game face on, because he was so shook by what she did. And she said, that was my purpose. So I guess she's being honest. And Rain says, Monique, is it? And Brandon says, everyone says this is bigger than Nino Brown when they get caught up. Wow. Okay.
Well, but let me just say this, and in the chat, let me know if you guys agree with this. Does it really matter where you're at in the rotation? If you're a good comedian or you're a good basketball player, you're going to get your 40 points. You're still going to close it out. I think Uncle Luke said it in a tweet recently. He said he didn't care where he was at in the rotation of a concert. He said he just felt sorry for the person that came after him, because he was going to be that good.
Right. And Travis, how you doing? He says, Monique made the mistake of overvaluing herself. She wants premium pay for no frills products. She is manipulating her fan base by bringing race and discrimination into the argument.
Let me say this. Sure. But Travis, this woman holds an Academy Award. So you're saying that an Academy Award winner should get basic pay to do a job. When you're an Academy Award winner, do you realize you get top billing in any movie that you're in? Do you realize that there's perks with that? So, I mean, I'm just trying to clarify.
And not only that, do y'all know that her lawsuit against Netflix is still on? The courts ruled that she was allowed to sue Netflix. So she still does have a lawsuit against Netflix for discrimination, for offering her $500,000 when they've offered, people like Amy Schumer's $13 million. Do y'all know that suit is still going forward? I just want y'all to know that. So as far as saying she undervalued herself, well, the court of law said, nah, she's able to go and take Netflix.
No, overvalued herself. Overvalued.
Yeah, overvalued herself. So a court of law said that Monique can go to court and ask Netflix to answer for why they lowballed her. So I just want to put that out there.
And then if you think about that, that's like saying, okay, the job requires a master's degree. So if you got a master's degree, you get paid 6 figures, let's say, hypothetically, right? But if you have no degree, you get minimum wage. Isn't that the same analogy? She has an Academy Award, so she proved herself to be elite. So,
right. And Kofo Blue, how you doing? Says Monique is dead wrong. The gaslighting needs to stop. I don't like DL either, but right is right and wrong is wrong. Well, I mean, that's true. And that's really a matter of opinion as well. Just because we wouldn't do it, I wouldn't do it that way. I'll just be honest with you. Or you wouldn't do it that way. Doesn't mean her wrong for doing it. But again, why is she wrong for doing the same thing that DL does? Can anybody answer me that? Why is Monique wrong for doing the same thing that DL does to people all the time? He did it to Kanye West. But yet y'all fell for the banana in the tailpipe because y'all was like, and I'm saying y'all, but I'm talking about the people who think that DL's mouth is a prayer book. Y'all jumped all down Kanye's throat. But do y'all know that DL talked about him first on Vlad? And so Kanye just was like, yo, basically keep my name out your mouth. But DL spent it all. He's threatening me. But it's like, dude, do you really think that you should be able to run around the planet talking greasy about people and they say nothing? So again, why is Monique wrong and DL is not? If anybody can answer that. And Tanaya, how you doing? Long time no see. And Pioneer says, I don't care too much for Monique since she played that disgraceful role in Precious. Well, it was a role that she paid, and they only paid her $50,000 to do it. So, Donovan, let me get to some of these comments.
But real quick, though, as somebody who does theater and stuff like that, when you hate somebody for a fictitious role that they played, that's a damn good actor. Look at Danny Glover. People still hate him for The Color Purple. That's a damn good actor. So, I mean, give her props. If you're still hating that woman, she is a damn good actress.
Absolutely. So, Robin, you say, yes, it happened. Talk about what happened in South Carolina. The little boy and his father was driving on a rural road in South Carolina, and white guy shot at the car. Little boy died of his injury. So I haven't heard anything about that, but I will look into it. That is horrible. And Agni of Defeat, how you doing? Says she should do her own tour, and y'all get out there and support her if y'all writers. I'm just saying, I love Monique. I would not have a problem with going to see Monique at all. And Monique has not stopped working, contrary to popular belief, but she says that because she was blackballed, it has cost her a lot of money. So, and Monique is not broke. Monique is worth $13 million and DL's worth 12. So Monique ain't out there starving. I mean, I'm just saying. Sunlight says, that's great at Demetra K. Can't wait to hear the updates talk about my raw vegan thing. Hey, Deka, how you doing? And Mr. Pirate Brain, what's going on with you? Ricky Mackey, how you doing? And thank you for tagging me in that lovely post. It was so beautiful. It says, hey, D and Don, peace, love you too. Honestly, I don't care about who's cooning or not. I, at one point, loved Monique, Steve, and DL, but I tend to think all Black people thriving in the entertainment business has done some cooning at some point in time in their careers. Either that or something scandalous. My problem with this whole thing is the constant bickering for the whole world to see. It's just embarrassing. Yeah, some people have said that it's embarrassing, but, some people are like, it's, Ricky, I love you, but is it embarrassing when DL, and I know you say you're not particular about him too, but when DL, undresses people, not physically, but with his mouth, is it embarrassing then? See, when he does it, it's funny. Ooh, he got them told. But when Monique does it, it's like, well, she's wrong and this, that, and the other. And Rain says, yes, I heard it too. Monique is not like, this is why they don't care about the truth. Exactly. Pioneer says, Queen, there's a difference between information and facts. There's plenty of information out there on the internet, but you have to sift through it to get actual facts, which is the true information. Well, I mean, how bad do we want to know the truth? Do we want to know the truth bad enough to dig to get it? Or do we want to just be spoon fed to us? I don't know. And Rain, you say Kevin Hart is corny too. And yeah, I mean, that's a matter of opinion as well. Easy said, yes, last week, white male shooting at a car with a Black occupant in South Carolina, killing 8-year-old boy and wounding father. They were visiting from another state. I will definitely look into it, and I will cover it either on my channel or the African Diaspora News channel. That is horrible. I haven't heard anything about that. And Mr. Piebrain says, comedians are not necessarily funny. They are storytellers. Great point. And Rain says, Dave is funny. Just saying, no, I think Dave is funny too, but I was just throwing his name out there. Like, he's unfunny to somebody, right? And Y of Israel, how you doing? Says, Monique speaks the truth, and the truth is never the popular topic. DL sold his soul to the Dixiecrats. You said it, I didn't. And welcome anyway. And let the redeemed say so. How you doing? It says, I see Monique's side. She played DL, and she said it. She said, that was my mission that night, was to hand him his behind, if you will. All right, so let me mosey on down to the bottom. Let's see here. Okay, I think I'm doing okay. And Tisha says, Demetra, is that it's the hair for me, looking great. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Sunlight says, exactly. Monique is back in the game without compromising her integrity. What is DL doing these days besides running his mouth? Exactly. She stood the test of time, and now she's back in the game. And even 50 said, we aren't canceling her. She's a great talent, and I'm putting her on, right? And I should say shout out to Donald Glover as well, because he also put Monique on with his Adidas commercial, where he actually made her executive producer as well of 6 commercials. So he saw the value of Monique during the height of her being blackballed. So just putting it out there. And Kid Grebo one, how you doing? Says Republicans and Democrats are just two sides of the same coin. You better say it. And let the redeem say so. It says DL really said he liked his daughter's molester, or even made a joke about it. Yes, he did. And he said he didn't believe his daughter. He said that on Sway and Tech. I don't know if Tech is still there, but Sway show. All right, Jeffrey, how you doing? Chico, how you doing? Says they can't stand the truth. They rather hear a lie. It's more entertaining to them. And yet they claim to be real like me. King Duffy, Queen Monique, and Queen D. Well, thank you. Okay, let's see who else came on here. And Easy says DL went on Vlad and didn't check Vlad on speaking bad about the minister. Yeah, I mean, why are we not mad about that? I'm just asking. All right. And Jessica Jackson, how you doing? Says this whole thing is bad. Monique has made some good points, just as DL Hughley has made some very disparaging comments about people's soul. Absolutely. Jeffrey said DL is corny and out of pocket. Tanya Cook, how you doing? Says Monique is messy. Yeah, a lot of people have said that she is. Let's see who else is on here. Ronald Harvey, how you doing? It says, because DL never put anybody's children or loved ones in the line of fire when he was commenting about them. Monique brought his wife and his daughter into a situation they had nothing to do with. He talks about people's wives and all the time. When he was talking about Kanye, said that, oh, you can't stop Pete Davidson, Kim Kardashian's new boyfriend, from doing a very nasty act inside of her. He did
Skeet Davidson.
Yeah, he called Steve Davidson. And I mean, let's take it back to his own daughter. He brought it up. The only reason why we know that is because he brought it up. He says he didn't believe his good friend did that to his daughter when she said so. That's the only reason why we know. So he brought it up. He talked bad about Jada. He talked bad about Angela Stanton. He talked bad about Bill Cosby. He talks bad about everybody. And y'all don't get mad at all. In fact, y'all probably applaud him and y'all share it with everything. But again, tell me why he is right and she is wrong, and they're accused of doing the same thing. Come on now. Let's see who else is on here. And Al Jackson, how you doing? Says, hey, Donovan, what do you call it when people's shoes hurt their feet? The agony of defeat. You are, boy, I tell you. Harley Lynn, how you doing? You say, I'm here for Monique. At the end of the day, Monique did nothing wrong to DL. DL is the one who did his daughter wrong to, and now your comment cut off, so sorry about that. But yeah, I mean, like she said, y'all not mad when DL has been talking greasy about her for all those years. Like, why is he innocent? Can y'all? I'm gonna get to this. I'm sure somebody
because he's getting a check from the Democratic Party. That's why he's innocent. Damn it.
Now, let's follow that line of reasoning. So, if he's bought and paid for by the Democrats, what does that say about Black people? That also means that possibly are we bought and paid for by the Democrats because y'all watch DL hoot and holler about Biden and them and Kamala. And, you know, the Republicans are bad people, but I don't ever recall, I'm not saying he didn't, but I don't recall him ranting and raving about the Biden administration. You know, I was going to say something nasty. I'm a lady. Not giving us tangibles. I mean, I'm asking. And Manrico, how you doing? Says DL was trying to make a point about Bill Cosby, no evidence, and use the trauma of his daughter he didn't protect in order to make the point. Now they're flipping the script on Monique. Yeah, so I mean, but in that same interview, he also called Bill Cosby a rapist again that was never charged or convicted of rape. So why is he saying that? Why y'all not mad about him lying? Because that's a lie. He has not been charged or convicted with rape. And if you don't believe me, go look up the charges. Rape was never even into the chat. And
isn't Bill Cosby free right now? So obviously
he's free, but he's being sued civilly in California by someone from 1975 or 73.
Or 73 or 74. She can't remember the exact year.
Yeah, she's saying he did something to her in the Playboy Mansion, so she's suing him for money. All right, so let's see here. Rain says Mo had him shook. Yeah, and that's what she said. He came on the stage and didn't know what to do. Jessica Jackson says DL never keeps his comments about people behind closed doors. Yeah, so why do y'all want her to do it? I'm asking. And Ronald, you say absolutely. And SoCal Sal, how you doing? He says your money is what matters. Yeah, money makes the world go round. Let's see here. Artemis, how you doing? Says she bought in the whole Academy Award BS. That saying winning an award, your value goes up. Well, I mean, I don't know about that.
It does. In that industry, it does. When you're an Academy Award winner, you can dictate your terms. And you got to think about it like this. If you're an actor now, and let's say a movie you did blew up just like Monique did. It was an independent movie and it blew up. And they asking you to do free promotion. What do you think you're going to do? Because now you know, because of people like Monique, you should be compensated for doing promotion. That's just something that is just the right thing to do now. She opened the door for that.
And Ronald says we're talking about stand-up comedy, not a movie. If you look at her ticket sales, her stand-up, it wasn't that good, and that's why Netflix offer her what they offer her because of her sales. But do you know that Wanda Sykes came back and said that they did the same thing to her, so that Monique was not wrong? So,
right, and then wait, and then Ronald Harvey, are you aware that Amy Schumer's ticket sales aren't that great either, and they offered her 3 times more money than what they offered Monique?
So And again, her lawsuit with Netflix is still on, and she's claiming discrimination. So, I mean, I'm just saying, I think at some point in time, and I'm going to try not to go into the gender thing as far as black women. I'm going to try not to do that. I'm going to wait. I'm going to button my brain when it comes to that argument because I don't want to enter too much into the chat just yet. Harley says, I'm here for Monique all day. Stay on that Democrat neck all day. Yes, indeed. Stay on him. Oh, ahead, Deuce 22. How you doing? It says salute first time and don't let it be the last time. Welcome. And SoCal Sally says, BS, how many have been paid less than that? So you're talking about what are you talking about exactly? Okay. And Chico says, and she's gonna win big. I hope she does. And old head Deuce 22 says, peace from LA. Y'all seem highly intellectual, and you must be highly intellectual as well for being here. But thank you for that. The agitator says, I'm glad. And Monique deserves more money than Amy Schumer. We know why Netflix did that, and I hope she wins. Exactly. It's like, come on.
Thank you. Thank you. It's just obvious, blatantly obvious. Amy Schumer cannot fill a stadium. She can't even fill the improv at the Ontario Improv here in California.
And hello, Tina. How you doing? And Marnie says, Monique has earned the right at this moment to have a say on what she's into and what she's not in the terms of her shows, etc. It kills me how people don't want you to talk and speak the truth. We're not into that, because if we was actually into, and I'm saying we as Black people as a collective, if we were actually into that, we wouldn't be in the situation we in today. We wouldn't continuously vote for the Democrats to the detriment of our own everything. We wouldn't continue to do that. If we were interested in the truth, we'd have listened to Malcolm X a long time ago when he says that the conservatives aren't no good and neither are the liberals, but the liberals are the ones that come to our community and lie to us, and they continuously benefit from us. And he said that's about 60 some years ago, and here we are still doing it. So we're not really friends with the truth here.
Right. And you got to think about this. Let's talk it to what we love, sports. When you win the Heisman Trophy in college football, that makes you the #1 player in college football. Does that impact your draft status? I think it does. So if you win an Academy Award, it impacts your impact on the industry and what roles you can get, what you will accept and what you won't accept. Because you got an Academy Award, you can demand $20 million per picture. You can do that.
Yeah, but why are we not rooting for her to be able to get a good contract?
Get the bag. Get the bag. Get it.
I'm just asking.
Has DL Hughley? Oh, that's right. The movies that he's been in has been basically boo-boo. How is this man worth $12 million and he does a radio show? His TV show on ABC was on life support season after season. So come on. I mean, add it up to me. You got to, and this is my opinion, you got a B-rated star and you got an A-list star. Come on, there's a difference in how they're going to be treated and how they're going to be paid. I haven't seen DL Hughley in anything motion picture wise in the last 5 years. I haven't seen it.
Mark's Biz 33, how you doing? He says, I was a fan he says, I think he meant you wasn't a fan. He says, but until recently, because of my own disenfranchisement on voting, always been a fan of Monique since Beer Fest. I'm team Monique. Yes, indeed. And the oh God, how you doing? Says she isn't wrong about anything. And Brother Samuel, how you doing? Let's see who else came on here. And Travis, you says, and I'm going to show y'all because y'all, YouTube and Facebook, y'all can't see each other's comments. So every once in a while, I put one up. Travis says, Donovan Academy Award means you were spectacular at something once. She hasn't demonstrated a track record that supports the money she demands.
Well, when you blackball her shortly after she wins the Academy Award, Travis, how do you expect her to do that? She was blackballed immediately. I
mean, my guy got a point here. I mean, like, how does she immediately she was blackballed? So how is she supposed to do that? We gonna wait, Travis. I'm gonna get down to your comment. And head Deuce 22. Thank you. And let's see here. And you also say salute to the Democrat Donovan. No, he's not. He's a recovering Democrat, still in recovery. And let's see. Ronald says DL talked about Kanye threatening her boyfriend and harassing her on multiple occasions, and he was giving his thoughts from a father's perspective. Okay. Pioneer says, I don't hate Monique because of that role in Precious. I don't even dislike her. I thought that particular action was disgraceful. She should have known better how self-destructive it was. Yeah, I didn't care for Precious either. It was the Lee Daniels film. She said she did it as a favor. She actually lost money. She got paid $50,000 for that.
And I believe the movie made what, like something like 53 million dollars.
It ended up being a blockbuster. So it was a surprise for everybody. And Brother Samuel says, that's right, Donovan. Like the actor Samuel Jackson in the Jamie Foxx movie. What that N-word on that nag? Oh, talking about the Django. Talking about Django. Yes. Classic film. All right, let me go ahead and get down to it. Where did I go? Okay, here we go. Easy says, because she's labeled as hard to get along with and trouble by Oprah, Steve Harvey, Tyler Perry, etc. for speaking the truth. And yeah, they got some influence, gatekeepers, if you will. All right. And Al, he says, Amy Schumer received her Netflix special after she sold out for a Madison Square Garden show. So that is true. She did sell out Madison Square Garden. That is the truth. Ricky says, DL is a creep now. I haven't listened to him for real since the Kings of Comedy. You say Cedric and Mac turned out to be the realest when Steve talks now. I literally cringe. Yeah. And they said that, who was it that stabbed Bernie Mac in the back? Was it Steve and Cedric the Entertainer? One of them.
No, it was Steve. It was Steve because it was had that point with the Charlie's Angels. Steve Harvey, Coon Harvey was trying to get the role and trying to down talk Bernie Mac to them not give the role to him.
Yes, and SoCal Sal. So yes, she said it was about revenge. Yes, she did say that. She said I was gonna get back on DL for him talking greasy about me and not being held accountable. So she said that was her. So Cliff Jr. 954, how you doing? He says, do any of us want to admit that Monique's stand-up is not funny? Well, again, it's in the eye of the beholder, right? Everybody don't like mac and cheese. I know that's kind of like taboo in our community. Not everybody likes mac and cheese. It's okay. What's funny to you may not be funny to somebody else, but that doesn't make people bad for saying, or how about this? Doesn't make people bad for laughing at her jokes. I think Monique is funny. So Pioneer says, I don't care too much for DL or Kevin Hart. I can tolerate Dave Chappelle. And he said he's not too bad, but none of them can hold accountable to Richard Pryor, even Chris Rock, in my opinion. And do you guys know that Richard Pryor called Monique the female version of himself? He said that. He called Monique a female version of himself, basically donning her as one of the greatest to ever do it. And so that came from Richard Pryor. Pam is jamming, long time no see. He says, greetings, everyone. I like Monique, always have and always will. Some people are on the outside looking in. Absolutely have no information as to what she's doing. They just get these little blips and narratives. Oh, she's difficult. Oh, she's loud. But it's like, did y'all ever get a chance to listen to her lay out mathematically what the problem was? In the Nation of Islam, they say it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. And she's proved everything she said. So I don't understand what the argument really is.
Right. And if you listen to her argument, if you really listen to it, it's a common sense argument that you would say. How would you like if your employer told you, hey, I need you to come in to work some couple of hours, whatever, but I'm not going to pay you? You wouldn't do it. It's the same argument. It's a common sense argument. She wants to be compensated for a job that they want her to do. There's nothing wrong with that. And at the time, she had just had a child. Or she had family thing. Yeah, she had just had a child.
2 twin babies in her own show and other stuff. And Oprah wanted her to travel around the world for free.
And that's another reason why she was doing her own show, so that she could be in one place and still spend time with her family.
Oh, Head Deuce 22. You know what? I wish I could take your comment and dip it in gold. You say Monique defends Black women more than Black women defend her. So sad. It really is. But I'm glad that you pointed that out. And let's see who else came on here. And Kid Grebo, I hope I'm saying your name right. Thank you so much. I love and appreciate you for that. He says it's dope, about the Wake Up show. So you're talking about Sway? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, I mean, Sway has been around for a very long time. Okay, and so let's see here. DC, how you doing? You know what? That's kind of my name, DC. Says, didn't you say something about be careful about revenge? Yet Mo says she purposely planned this based on what DL said about the show. Yeah, I mean, I agree.
Karma's karma. But sometimes some people like me, sometimes I know I'm going to do something, that I know it's going to come back on me. But at the time, it was worth it.
Right. And so, yeah, I agree. I mean, but I'm just telling you what she said. I'm not saying it's right. She said that, yes, it was about revenge for him, talking so bad about her over the years and getting away with it. Right. So she said that was actually the first time that they were in the same room since the 90s. And I'll give you a story really quick. She said on her live, she said she opened for DL in the 90s. And she said it was during the time when Mike Tyson was fighting. Mike Tyson was fighting. And she said that at that particular show, only 10 people showed up. 10 people. And so she said to DL and his team and the 10 people in the audience, hey, why don't you come back to my house? I'll cook for y'all and we can have fun there. And that's what they did. And so that's what she meant by you had your feet under my table when, 10 people showed up to your show and I invited all y'all back to my house and I cooked and everything. And then this is how you repay me over the years by talking greasy about me. So she said, yeah, it was very personal to her. All right. And let's see here. Ronald says, but he talked about them, not their family or their kids. Well, if I could be like really petty and I'm in PR, so I know how to spend things. The people he talk about is somebody's kids. I'm just saying, patience is a virtue. How you doing? He says, oh, well, ain't no rules to fighting. I will roast your children, granny, mama, whatever. I said what I said. You know what? You know who taught me that? Ain't no rules to fighting? My daddy. My daddy taught me and my siblings that ain't no rules to fighting. You do what you got to do to get the point across, right? So
for all of you guys that don't know, Demetra has a very, very famous saying. She used to wear a shirt on it all the time. But what was it, D?
Stop singing and start swinging?
No. Take me off the planet. I'll take
a black both of yours.
No. I'll take you off the planet. Something like that.
Oh,
remember that one?
No, I don't. I mean, I brought you in this world. I'll take you out.
No. You used to wear that shirt that said, "I'm peaceful. Be peaceful with everyone. But if you lay your hands on me, I'm gonna take you off the planet."
Oh yeah.
Send you to the cemetery or something like that.
Oh no, that was Malcolm X. I had that as my cover page.
Yeah.
It basically says, and I'm paraphrasing, we're peaceful, but if you put your hands on me, then I'm gonna send you to the cemetery. That's how it goes. So SoCal Sally says, are you bought and paid for by Republican traders? Well, before I answer that, can I ask you this? What would make you think that? And I want you to come very strategic in your answer. Don't come with some glossed over, watered down talking point. I want you to be strategic in your answer to me. What makes you think that either one of us are bought and paid for by Republican traders? I want you to give it your best shot. And let's see who else is on. Brother Samuel says, Demetra, did you see my comment on your channel about how all of the kings of comedies were given their own shows to stop the direction where they were going? It says one has died, talking about Bernie Mac, and haven't heard too much about Cedric. The others have taken a suspect position on certain issues. Steve even spoke with the minister. One wonders how the powers that be have dealt with them and how much control they have over them. Yeah, y'all love Steve Harvey's mustache, but y'all forgave him for Watusi his ass up into the White House talking to Trump. Y'all ain't said a word about that. I'm just saying. The agitator says exactly, Demetra K. They cannot tell because they know DL is always talking greasy about black people, but the same people come to the defense of DL, shaking my head. Yeah, I mean, just because I don't know. I just think we're not really receptive to truth. We get more caught up on congeniality, a personality contest. Well, whose personality do I like the best? Who's the funniest? Not who's telling the truth, but who's the funniest? Which is why, as Malcolm X said in the beginning, that they can get entertainers, as he said, puppets and clowns, to masquerade as our leaders because they know we like to be entertained, goddammit.
Yeah, but you remember years ago I used to tell you, why is it in the black community they go to Bill Cosby, all these entertainers and sports athletes, and they ask them their opinion? Nobody gives a damn. Show me the last time they went to a white entertainer, let's say the late Robin Williams, and said, what do you think about the reparations issue? He's an entertainer. They don't go to him to ask him questions like that. He is not an elected leader. When it's a white issue or Hispanic issue, they don't go to their entertainers. They go to the elected officials to make the statement and to represent them. That's what they do. Only in the black community do they go to the entertainer, LeBron James, and say, well, hey, a man that just finished high school, and I'm not shading him because he's finished high school, but he's not qualified other than to give his opinion. That's it. But they go to him to represent what black people are thinking. Come on now.
Yes, indeed, Ricky Mackey. So you said Bill Cosby didn't do anything, and I say it that way to anybody. They did the drugs and party together, and then many years later, Bill was about to buy NBC. That is the rumor. He said so. They brought those women back to help do the same thing they accused him of to Bill. Yes, indeed. All right. So let's see who else new came on here. And Chico, you said you heard about the 10-year-old little black girl that was shot by a black woman in Florida. Yes, I actually covered that story on the African Diaspora News Channel. Go check it out. Very sad situation. Easy. You say Donovan is the name. Amy Schumer, bro. Yeah, that's between y'all. Know you're talking about in Keeson.
Yeah, well, he's saying the word Amy. Virtual signals. White. You could be okay. Let's say there's a statement.
Really her name.
Yeah, I know, but it's a white name. You get it? But here's the thing. Think about this, and it's true. Monique has to sell the stadium out, right? But because white people have more money per capita per person, there could be a third of the stadium that could make as much as a full stadium of people filling it. So that's where I think he's going with the virtual signaling. It's a white thing.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it just is, right? And Travis, you make a good point. It says Amy Schumer is a well-documented joke thief. Race is why Netflix paid her more. Monique should win her lawsuit. Yeah, because they tried to get it thrown out. But the judge is like, no, it's enough here to go forward. And let's see here, Keeson, how you doing? You say, I hope Monique can move past all the drama, but taking shots at DL's daughter was a low blow. Okay, but let me ask you this. Because I don't know if you heard it or you heard it from her. When did she take shots at his daughter? Put it in the chat, please. When did she take shots at his daughter? Or did she mention something that was already public knowledge? Now, when we say take shots at, that means she says, oh, his daughter is a horrible person. Oh, his daughter is this. But can you please tell me if she did that? Because over here, we really like to be able to back up the stuff that we say. Everybody. Jessica, you say right, recovering Democrat. Monique is away. So I put that up there. Way bigger name than Amy Schumer. Come on. And our old head Deuce 22, you say K, our rep start war. So Republicans start war, them exploit them. Yep, they in the same gang, right? And let's see here. Let the redeem say so. He says, common sense, folks. What do the awards mean if not more money? You think a fake gold statue warrants all that attention? Yeah, I mean, you should. That should be like, hey, here's my resume, right? You know, I mean, I didn't love the role. I didn't like Precious at all, but I mean, you got to admit, Monique really, I mean, now she had me shook. I'll say that. CM, how you doing? Long time no see. You said they better stop messing with my sister Neek, okay? Because Monique is like, I know y'all trying to blackball me and turn your backs on me. She says, but that's a price I'm willing to pay. I'm all right with that. You know, like I didn't go through 13 years of being blackballed just to say, okay, I'm going to bow down to the crowd, the mind of the crowd, right? Sometimes people just got to stand tall and say, you know what, if it means me riding alone, then I'm going to do that. So,
well, you know, and again, this goes back to Muhammad Ali. Remember in the 60s when he's whipping everybody's ass? White people just hated this man, hated him just because of who he was. And then when he joined the nation, oh my God, they were waiting for the great white hope and he was just destroying these people, right? Then when he was proven right by the Supreme Court in an essence of law, what did they do? Oh, we love Muhammad Ali, made him an icon, and they would send him out on missions to represent the United States, to go get hostages and to negotiate peace. I mean, come on, y'all, come on.
And then to your point, they did the same thing to Malcolm X. He was one of America's most hated by black and white people. Now he's a hero. We love him to death.
We can make a lot of merchandise money off of him.
Right. Like I said, a lot of people, especially our people, talk Malcolm, but you don't walk Malcolm. Because if you did, then you'd be like, you know what? Maybe Monique has a point. I don't know. And Pioneer says his name is Hughley. For the most people, the G is silent. Why does he pronounce the G in his name? You got me. Cynthia Ali, how you doing? He says they hate when the truth is told on them, and she told the truth on them. So now they want to take her down. DL put his own daughter's business out there. Yeah. So what are we missing here? That he put it out there. She didn't go find it. He put that out there. All right. So moving right along, DC says, wait, Mo is deaf, not A-listed. She was blackballed, and a name a blockbuster movie. Precious. Said name one.
Soul Plane.
I don't know about that one.
No, I'm just messing.
I mean, I don't know about Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins, but that
wasn't a blockbuster. But yeah, but Precious. I mean, because okay, the definition of a blockbuster is what they put into production to what they make after the money they put into it. And usually, if you make 5 times the money back than what you put into it, it's considered a blockbuster, and then they would go into sequels.
What about this? The Parkers, very long run. I mean, and that was
8 seasons.
Hilarious. So, I mean, again, we ain't talking about somebody who just happened upon a role somewhere. I mean, Monique has been doing this for a very long time.
Right. The Monique show went on for 4 seasons, I believe, 4 to 5 seasons.
Yeah, she's got a lot of stuff under her belt. I think we should really educate ourselves and, really say, well, Monique does have the resume. I would think Mr. Pirebrain says, I always rock with Monique. Same here. And Carolyn White, how you doing? Says, this is toxic. And what is this you're talking about? And Ivory, you say the movie Precious was over a decade ago. Yeah, but as Donovan said, I mean, come on now, let's think logically here. When did she get blackballed? It was during the promotion of Precious. She did not want to do it for free. And so she's been blackballed since, she says, 13 years. So, I mean, and Moyo, how you doing? You say, Wanda Sykes, now put your comment up because you're on Facebook. It says, Wanda Sykes refused the offer, went to Epix for more money than Netflix offered her more money the second time around. Yeah, but she came out in defense of Monique and said, well, hell, it make you feel better. They did it to me too. So she was basically like, you own or something, right? Deuce 22 says Steve Harvey is bought out. Yeah, that is definitely the argument. Jafia says DL's daughter attacked Monique as well. Regardless of her age, she is a child in the situation and she needs to stay in her place. Yes, I saw that. And, but that's a lot of people hyping her up, telling her that Monique attacked her. And I watched the live and she did not attack his daughter or go after his daughter or anything like that. She says that a man sent it to her. She says she didn't even hear anything about that. And a man sent it to her. So, just pointing that out there.
Well, the thing is, you know what? I'm at the point, and I like I said, I'm not a Monique fan like that. I do like some of the movies she's been in and stuff like that for a little thing, but I'm not a Monique, follower or anything like that. But let's face it, she could speak the nicest way to us, and people just, the women hate her. The women hate her when she's talking about the bonnets. The women just hated her, and she tried to say it in the most loving way, and they just jumped down her throat.
Yeah, that bonnet gate, boy, and sisters are the one that had a huge problem with it. And it's like, she's asking us to be decent in public, like our mamas and our grandmamas used to be. And I think people was, even doing it even more. It's like, all right, idiot, go ahead, but why are you mad at her for saying that let's be decent? And a lot of people who were mad at her probably go to church and claim that they read the Bible. But doesn't it say in the Bible that the older women are supposed to teach the younger women and show them the right way to go and all of that? There's a woman who people call auntie. She couldn't even do that because people got in their feelings behind her telling them, take your bonnet off and put some clothes on when you go outside. That was just odd to me. But maybe, I don't know. And Deuce 22, you say Monique's best hasn't come yet. And that may be very well true. And yes, Richard Pryor did say that. And Paul Mooney's, I think it was his son that she said was there that can verify that he said that to her.
Yeah, Paul Mooney has twin sons.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sorry, everybody. Richard Pryor is the best comic of all times. I'm sorry.
Oh, DC, you say, oh, the host is being paid by Monique. Got it. Have a good day, my babies.
So basically, DC couldn't prove what you asked him to prove.
And I'm being paid.
That's his comeback because he couldn't come up with the...
It might be a woman because, no, not going to do it, Demetra. Because I said we're going to use our emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
We're not going to go below the belt. But again, prove that Monique has paid me. I've never even met Monique. So prove that.
I can't. So I'm just going to leave. Bye. And you're agent. Goodbye.
In a nutshell. And Moni says, DL state that his daughter molester was his best buddy, but now he is embarrassed that he didn't believe his daughter, and he's been trying to make amends on that end, but I think it's too late. Well, I mean, nothing's ever too late. It sounds like maybe they've made amends. I don't know. Pioneer says, what? What do you mean everybody doesn't like macaroni and cheese? I don't know anybody who doesn't. Everybody may not be able to eat it, but they still like it anyway. I'm just saying.
Wait, stop. I know a lady that makes macaroni and cheese with carnation milk. No, it is not good. Sorry.
I mean, I'm just saying everybody don't like mac and cheese. I'm just putting it out there. Let the redeem say so. It says Mo was hilarious in Martin Lawrence movie. Was a blockbuster. Yeah, I think that was Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins. Hilarious. The agitator says okra. Ugh. Yeah, there you go. Pioneer says, I thought Sunlight said that about the mac and cheese. No, it was Kisan said it, I believe it. I said it because Kisan said something else. Ohead says, never had such a compliment. KKK. Okay. I don't know if I like that KKK, but okay, I got you. Let's see here. Yeah, Roscoe Jenkins was the name of the movie. Okay. Kisan say elbow cough about the mac and cheese. Is that you? You don't like mac and cheese?
Well, I know Robin Cooper. She's a longtime watcher and listener. What's her opinion on this?
Okay, so we're gonna get her opinion. I'm putting these comments up. And Anais, how you doing? If I didn't already say that, Bo, you say I'm sorry, Monique was wrong. Okay, everybody's got a lot of differing opinions. All right, Harley Lynn, he says, whenever so-called Black people speak up for themselves, it's always so-called Blacks going against their own people for speaking up. Yeah, we don't really like that much. It's conditioning, Pioneer says, if you got people out there fighting and killing children in revenge, some of them should get punished and executed as an example to prevent it from happening again. Well, you know how it goes when it's them against us. It was an accident, right? Ronald, you say, I want to make this very clear. Monique was absolutely wrong by Tyler Perry, Oprah, and Daniels. Yes, and she's proved that she was wrong. So, but there's a lot of people who, are team them regardless of what Monique says.
Yeah, and think about this. Okay, Monique was on the rise back then, 13 years ago. Now, we don't know what kind of house payment she had and, and expenses she had to do what she had to do, right? So she got blackballed. Now, I'm not saying live beyond your means, but situations like that, when out of the blue, Oprah makes a phone call, Tyler, all these people are lying on her. This woman takes a financial loss for 13 something years. She could have been homeless, destitute, or whatever. I mean, their rich isn't the same as our poor and their poor, two different things. But, where is the sympathy for somebody who was actually has been proven that she was done wrong? At the end of the day, she was done wrong, and she's still being done wrong.
Yes, indeed. Let's see here. All right, Anais, hit me up. I believe y'all got my information. If you don't, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to be of service. Pioneer says, we can't sit up here and let our community descend into savagery. I agree with that. But how much control do we really have over DL and Monique, who are grown people? But I think we could do, we can help by not getting involved and all of that. I'm really just speaking to the point of, people calling Monique wrong, but not calling DL wrong. And he does the same exact stuff to people, right? Okay. Let's see here. And Facebook user, is that you, Tracy? Because it just says Facebook user, and I hope that you saw that. So I don't know if that's you or not. All right, let me get down to see who else came on here. Then I'll start reading you guys' comments again. Truff Tellar, how you doing? He says she took shots at his wife. Does DL not take shots at people's wife? So again, can y'all please tell me what she did wrong that he doesn't also do? Like, please, I'm begging you, please, baby, please. Just asking. And she didn't take shots at his wife. She did not take shots at his wife. Again, we need to be able to watch and listen, not what we think we heard, but what we heard, what was said, right? She was speaking to his wife, but she didn't take shots at his wife. Now, what she said was a little vulgar. I don't know how you could do a sexual act on him because he's a coward. But yeah, she wasn't taking shots at her. I guess maybe you can look at it that way. Now that I kind of think about it, you could look at it that way, just to be honest. Okay. Robbie says she didn't take a shot at his daughter. She mentioned something that DL already mentioned. Yes, indeed. And I see people saying that she was wrong. And the old God says she didn't shoot for her father. And your comment kind of got messed up. So if you want to put it back in the chat. Easy says, Donovan, the last name is where the weight is. You feel me? Y'all on something else. I ain't getting involved in that at all. All right, let me scroll down to the bottom. Who else came on here that I did not see? Yes, Brother Sanders, and that's what she said. She got white bald. That's what she called it. She says white bald.
But let me ask you guys this question, you guys out there real quick. How does all of this stuff, if whatever side you're on, I don't care, how does this put more money in our pockets? How does this enhance my life?
Well, I don't know about us enhancing our life or putting money in our pocket, but I'm one of those people that when people are right and they're speaking up for right, I like to kind of give them, some support, because I would like for somebody to do that to me. And I see that Monique is up against it. A lot of people in our community who just they're furious at her. But I'm like one of those people. I want to let's be even handed here, right? How you more furious at her? But DL Hughley continuously sells black people up the river to the Democrats, and y'all ain't one bit mad about it.
Right, I agree with that. Like I said, I'm all for somebody who's going to make the system better. Because like I said, at the end of the day, 20 years from now, when you see these new actors, meaning male and female, when these new actors come in, they are going to have the benefit of what this woman went through, that she made it to where it's going to be,
LM3, how you doing? He says, I feel like DL is taking advantage of Monique by disrespecting her and then bringing up her past to keep her quiet. Yeah, to bring up her past so that he doesn't have to answer for what he's done to her. Well, see, I told y'all she's problematic. It can't just be everybody. It must be her. It's like, nah, bruh. Don't put up the Baptist finger when your ass whooping is taking place. Own what you did to the woman. But like you said, he's bringing up her past to skirt around the issue that she has with him. So very good catch. Very good. The agitator says, exactly, Donovan. Some of our people act like they love to be abused. It just blows me away. It's conditioning. And some people don't even know that's what it is. And Truth, and how you doing, Yanni? How you doing? And Truth Teller. Okay, now I got it. Truth Teller is what your name is. He says he didn't take shots at her. She did. But again, go and look up the interviews of him talking about her on Vlad and with Steve Harvey and other things. She said he has been doing that to her for the last couple of years. So maybe he didn't do it that night, but he has been doing it. But why aren't you mad? You the truth teller. If you're interested in the truth, then go see for yourself and then come back and then tell me if he took shots at her. She did it once and he's done it over a year's time. So truth teller, let's get into telling the truth. Let's not be selective about the truth because we like his comedy more than we like hers. Let's get into the truth telling business. All right. And let's see here. Tirio, I know I messed your name up. I am so sorry. She said DL talked about Sydney on her show. Oh, yes. You know what? I am so glad you brought that up because I forgot that when she went on to DL Hughley's show, DL Hughley was not there. Jasmine, the lady that sits with him, and some other people were there. So toward the end of the show, she says that Jasmine did a Would You Rather segment. And the Would You Rather was, would you rather your husband sleep with Lee Daniels with a condom or Corinne Steffen without one? And she said she called DL and told DL that's the game they played. And he told her, oh, well, that's how we get down. It is what it is. So she says, are you sure you want to go with that? She said, I advise you not to play that because that's going to look bad for you. So she says they never played it. But so I'm glad that you put that into the chat. So for those of y'all who saying that she went after his wife and his daughter, are y'all not just as mad that his show went after her husband with such grotesque content? Like, what did they, like she said, this is a black man. You know, why are we continuously trying to emasculate black men? She said, that's my husband. Like, did you really think I was going to engage in that game with you? So are y'all mad about that? I'm just asking. Oops. These comments jumped up. I was going to read your comment, Pioneer. I'm going to find it. Damn.
Al says when we interview Monique, make sure that her damn daddy isn't there to do all the talking.
I'm sorry, y'all. Oh wait, did I? I went back too far. I think is what it was. Oh, I did. It's called getting old, you guys. All right, so I started this comment. Sorry about that. Chico, he says, listen, if the headliner is the last person or the first or whatever place they're in, if their name is on the contract as a headliner, is what it is. But that's the thing, though. They have two contracts that say two different things, right? All right, so let me skip down to the bottom so I could catch up just a little bit. Bella Burrows, how you doing? And you say also she has never stopped touring. Yeah, she hasn't stopped working. Like, people really need to get the information business, right? Like, I'm not one I don't like to be misinformed. Like, I hate, and I don't really use that word a lot, but I really hate people like with Google out here. How are you misinformed? How are you opening? I'm not talking to anybody specifically. I want to put this comment up because Bella made a good point. With Google being free, like, I'm old enough. I remember this. Who is it? It's the encyclopedia salesman. Yes. I remember that. I remember having to take my black ass to the library to get
for $13 a month. You could have a whole set for your children.
Yeah. So I remember having to like get it out the mud to get the information. But with Google being free, why are we still speaking as if like the information is not out there? You can find whatever you want on Google. Or if Google ain't your thing, go to Bing.
Or Twitter, what do they call it? Twitter trending. It'll tell you trending.
But I'm saying as far as to get information, like you can do a lot of research. But people won't do that. And so to her point, Monique has not stopped working. She's worth more than DL is worth. But yet people want to make it seem like, because she's speaking out, she's broke. She out there in the food bank line. It's like, come on. Right? And Judah Rising, how you doing? You says, words of Dick Gregory, this is a game. Yes, indeed. And, I want to put it out there. Malcolm X mentioned Dick Gregory as being one of the comedians that, they send to be our Black leader. But we also know that Dick Gregory switched it around and he actually is one, as an ancestor, one of the wokest people on the planet. He really spoke truth to power and uncovered a lot of things that even to some of the things he said, what do we say? He crazy. He don't know what he's talking about. But now that he's gone, we've seen a lot of things start to manifest that Dick Gregory talked about that people said he was crazy.
Okay, now you guys might not know this, but there's I think an 8-disc Richard Pryor CD set out there, digital set, and it has all his albums, right, on major labels. If you really listen to those, and I have it, if you really listen to those, Richard Pryor said some really telling stuff about Black people. Here's one about, when he went to Africa and how we treat Africa and how we think about Africa. I mean, who's the other, the white comedian that was really good? George Carlin. He was like an activist comedian. So, we've gone so far away from these comedians that really made us look at ourselves and look at each other in the form of laughter.
Yep. And Bawana, I hope I said that right. How you doing? It says DL is a good dude. Okay. And Bill, I'm going to put your comment up. He says, they big mad because 50 about to position her for a big bag. You know what? I like you. You know why I like you, Bella? Because me and you are here. I've been telling people that. Notice how everybody keep bringing up, she going to mess up the relationship with 50. She going to do it to 50. And you know what that is, Bella? That ain't nothing but jealousy speaking. They're hoping that she fumbled a bag with 50 and they fall out because they're mad it ain't them. So I'm glad you said that. That is, I firmly believe that's why they keep bringing up 50 Cent. 50 spoke to it. It says, I love y'all. Talking to Sydney and Monique says, I love y'all. Let's get to work. That's what he said in regards to all of this. So he ain't shook by it. Pam is jamming. You say Monique had her own talk show. She did. Many movies such as Fat Girls, yes, she did it, had a sitcom such as The Parkers and many others. I love her because she's a writer. You better believe it. And Pioneer says, not all women hated her over her scolding Black women over wearing so many bonnets in public. Some, a very vocal few, were angry. I don't think most sisters were. I think most agreed. Yeah, and we don't deal in absolutes here. So, of course, all Black women did not disagree with her. And I'm one of them. I agreed And I was happy that she did. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sweating. It's hot. And they got the air on. All right. And so, Tracy, I see your comments. Tracy, she right. Or she's like, I'll leave my friend alone. So you have to put that up there. I don't know why we can't see your picture or whatever, but I know who you are. And yes, Anais, Richard Pryor was a king. Yes, indeed. So let me get down to the bottom. Y'all all giving homage to the late Richard Pryor. And I know, right? Oh, head. He said KKK. Yeah. I mean, I'm going to put it up here how you were saying it, but the way I'm saying it is like, and Brother Samuel says, vegan mac and cheese is great. Tastes like the real thing. You know what? Right now, I would love some vegan mac and cheese, but in solidarity with my girl Sunlight and my brother Walter, I am doing raw vegan for the next 90 days. I'm going to be like, no, I hope not. I hope I don't get too skinny, but I'm working with them. So we'll see. And Maurice, you say, oops. You say Monique did Almost Christmas. She was hilarious in that film. Yes, hilarious. And Donna J, how you doing? She says, if she lost about 162 pounds, she could play Candace Owens. All right. And let's see here. LM3 says, I feel like DL is taking advantage of. Okay, so I read that already. Who else is on here that's got something different to say? I want to see Al's comment because I really want to address that. Michi, my BFF. How you doing? He says, they should have just paid Monique years ago. Yeah, pay the lady what she worried. Why y'all making her go through all of that, right? Yes, indeed. And Truth Teller says,
or is it the fact that DL Hughley is jealous that Monique is going to get paid, you know, after all this time and things like that, and he just doesn't want her to get the bag
when he's gone on such a mission to blackball or to talk bad about her all these years, and now here 50 Cent come, and like I said, Donald Glover put her on. He made her executive producer of all his 6 of his Adidas commercial, and those shoes sold out like that. He made her, y'all. I don't know if y'all remember those commercials she was on with him, but he gave her executive producer rights right in the middle of her being blackballed. And I don't care what y'all say about Donald Glover. I know somebody gonna say, oh, he's a swirler, but you know what though? Donald Glover put it out there, okay? Donald Glover does the work. But let me get going for somebody to say something bad about him. Let's see here. I'm gonna get down to, I'm gonna find your comment that you said, brother, because I got something to say. Where'd it go? Oh,
it's right there.
Yeah,
you mean the one?
I found it. Let's get to it. I'm gonna put this up here. It says, when y'all interview Monique, make sure that her damn daddy isn't there to do all the talking. I'm gonna say this. While I would not call my man daddy, I got one daddy, and he probably watching. Hey, daddy, how you doing? My real daddy, okay? I can't tell Monique what to call her man. And she also says that he calls me mama. But she says, y'all don't talk about that. Y'all don't talk about that. They call each other mama and daddy, whatever, that's their thing or whatever. But I want to say this. I think we in the Black community need to get used to the man being the head of the household, the man taking the leadership, and the man speaking and protecting his woman. See, we have gotten so far away from that in our community that we don't even know what that looked like. We don't even know what it looks like for a man. And he said, not on my watch will they disrespect my woman. And she also said, y'all who got a problem with her man, daddy, y'all ain't say nothing when those white boys was getting their bum contracts and stuff. Y'all ain't said a word. But this Black man is 10 toes down for his woman and their family. We mad that her daddy got something to say. Hell, that's what it, but then on the other hand, y'all say Black women talk too much. We talk too much. We got too much to say. We independent and we got too much to say and all this other stuff. But here's an example of a Black woman. Yeah, if you watch it, she says, okay, daddy. Again, those are words, not mine. Okay, daddy. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You know, that like we're seeing it play out in real time, how a good, solid relationship is supposed to work. They're speaking to each other, loving and all of that. But we mad because her man is sticking up for her. Al, put it in the comment section. Tell me how that makes sense to you, that you mad that her black man is taking the lead and protecting his black woman. Tell us how you really feel.
Right. It's a shame that people, we're black men, we're damned if we do, we're damned if we don't.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I don't understand why people have a problem with a black man. Don't nobody say that about if a white woman a man says something about her, don't nobody say, wow, he talking so much shit. I'm one of those black women. I love a man to take the lead. What you saying?
Or
really? Okay.
Yeah, or another big example. LeBron James got his buddies on his payroll, managing him and stuff like that. All these people have a problem with it, but then you have all these sports agents in all the sports where the white guy is stealing all the money. Nobody has nothing to say when the black athlete is destitute and money's missing.
How you doing, Dylan? I'm just let that comment ride for just a little bit. I'm gonna let it ride. I'm gonna let it ride. I'm gonna just leave it up
delusional, but go ahead.
No, it's not. He's right. Or she, I don't know if you're a man or woman, forgive me. They're right. Monique brings out the fragile masculinity in a lot of black men. Like, why y'all mad?
Okay, right.
I'm saying not all, but why y'all mad that she's speaking up? And I think that's the problem. And I'm just saying this. I said I wasn't going to bring this into the chat, but I'm just bringing it a little bit. I think a lot of people have a problem with black women speaking their mind. I mean, and I'm one of them. I have people telling me to shut up all the time. It's like, what am I saying? Why do I need to shut up? Why should I be quiet? Yeah. Or why do you like to label black women that got an opinion as angry and loud and, all this other stuff? You got something to say? Oh, okay. I didn't think so. I'm just playing. I'm just kidding. Jay, I'm sorry. You say, but it was unprofessional of her to use that occasion to air her vendetta against DL. She used the headliner issue to do so. Well, I mean, like I said, I didn't love the way she did it. I'm not going to say that I did, DL, brother Samuel say DL also pushed for that deadly jab, the government population control plan. He sure did. Y'all mad at that? I'm just asking. And Monique says, but I did like DL's comment to Monique when he says, you got the nerve to insult my sexuality when you can look at what you're sleeping right next to. And I've been hearing for years that her husband, okay, see. I mean, what if he is? What if he is bisexual? Did he tell you he was bisexual? Or is that something you heard? I'm just asking. Oh, head dude, she says she needs the headline and the strength of her peers. Absolutely. Like, yeah, we need the ride for Monique. But I am. Y'all can check my track record. I've always been Team Monique. Let's see here. The agitator says, I do too, sis, Demetra K. All right. And Pioneer says that's the problem, sis. They can find any information they want as opposed to finding out the truth. You often have to dig through garbage just to get to the facts. Well, I mean, you want to put it, how bad do you want to know the truth? Or do you just kind of want to know a little bit of the truth? I want to know it all as much as I can, right? And Dillian says, DL ever put his best friend in jail for molesting his daughter? I guess not. He's a coward. Yeah, I mean, but people don't want to have that conversation. The agitator says Dick Gregory was on point with the things he was saying. Yeah, and we're seeing a lot of that stuff manifest to this day. And Pioneer says, I miss Dick Gregory. I really love the commentary from that brother. Yes, indeed. And Jacqueline Bibbs, how you doing? Black first. Yes, indeed. Yes, and LM3 Bella is on point. Who else came into the chat? Jason Peters, how you doing? It says, in the words of Dick Gregory, it's a game, huh? I used to love when he would do interviews and people would ask him questions and he would take their ass to task. I'm not joking. Is this funny to you? And they'd be like, oh, no. Loved it. Jessica Jackson, he says, a lot of people are mad because he's getting opportunity without selling out. Or she's getting opportunity without selling out. I'm sorry. We respect Dave Chappelle for holding his ground to get what he wanted. Same thing for Monique. Yeah, we ride for Dave Chappelle as we should. But Monique, why doesn't she get the same support? So very good point. Come again. How you doing? He says, when you throw out facts, it looks like defending someone. This lady narrative has not changed. Her marriage is her marriage. Feel free to have an opinion. But what does that have to do with the facts? Come on. Come again. I'm going to put that up there. I'm going to let that ride so y'all can read it and understand it. All right. So let's see here. Let me get back to my comment. Okay. I'm not doing too bad. Let's see. And Jacqueline, he says, I agree with Monique on the bonnet. I love how she stand up for herself. Yeah, Monique is not going to let people push her around. And I really do love that. And Pioneer says, George Carlin was something else. He talked about everybody and wasn't scared, but he was another one who looked too mean to be funny. Yeah, it was like that dark humor, right? Angela Newman, how you doing? Says, I loved Auntie and two can play that game. She playing to play a game? I can't recall, but yes, but welcome to the chat. Okay, and let's see who else is on here. Pam is jamming says, I love the skit where Richard Pryor went into a tomb with two white men and discovered that black people were the people the Bible speaks of. Then the two white men locked him in the tomb. Truth. Yes, Richard Pryor was the GOAT. I used to like watching the stand-ups, and when we talk about white people, they be walking out the theater like, okay, we ain't ready for this.
Yeah,
Remember
that one thing was on this. I have them all the stand-up movies and stuff. I think it was on the Sunset Strip where he said, the white people they always come in late and they find out some Negroes are sitting in their seats. They have me cracking up.
The Williams, how you doing? Says, I listened to people who had her back and is able to say she went too far. Okay, well, I mean, that again, that's a matter of opinion. I can't tell people how to handle what they feel like they need to handle. Again, I probably wouldn't have did it that way, but can we really tell her? And I kind of despise is a little strong word, when people tell other people what to do. Like, you can't even tell yourself what to do. All the people in Monique's comments, you need to do this or you shouldn't do that. I'm like, hell, y'all can't even tell your own kids what to do. How y'all gonna tell this grown woman what she should be doing, right? I don't know. I'm just asking. All right. And Sunlight, he says, and that was a male who said that. So now it's an issue for Monique to let her man lead, or does it crush your BS narrative? Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, I think we just need to be honest about that. I mean, y'all want black men to not be emasculated. Like when black men are emasculated, look at that. But here we are emasculating Monique's man because he's like, y'all not finna dog and, rope a dope my woman. Hell, what black woman don't want a man to do that for her? What black woman don't want her man? And I hate to see black women, talking all over her man and talking all greasy to her man in front of everybody. That to me, that's a bad look. I don't have a problem with Monique's husband speaking up for her. Like, we need to get back to embracing the way things work.
Ain't no man gonna speak for me. I didn't have my daddy, so nobody gonna rap with my daddy. You ain't my daddy, you ain't gonna talk to me. I don't need no man. I'm independent, I'm strong. I don't need any man to do anything for me because I can do it for myself.
Yeah, but when somebody beats your ass, you're gonna be going to your daddy, your brother, your homie, or somebody.
Call the police.
yeah, I mean, but it's probably gonna be a man police to show up. I mean, I'm just saying. So, that the walking tall and talking tough as a woman is cute until you need a man to come do men things for you. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I'm just putting it out there. Thunder, he says, I don't see what the big deal is about the mama and papa names. If you date a Latina, she's going to call you Poppy and you're going to call her mommy. Yeah, like it's silly season at this point. I mean, God, I mean, like I said, I wouldn't call my man daddy. That's just not my thing, but I ain't mad that she call her daddy. I mean, people, that's not odd. I've heard people call their man daddy or whatever. I mean, I'm just saying. And the Williams said, I listened to people who had her back and is able to say she went too far, not people that don't see what she went too far, or that don't say she went too far. And I'm sorry for misreading your comment. Jacqueline says, don't be mad because they have respect for each other. Yeah, I mean, I love it. I don't have a problem with that. But if she was like, N-word, you better be quiet. I'm the star here. You don't be talking over me. Then we'd be like, yeah, girl, get him, girl. All that other stuff. And she said that I study Monique, believe it or not. She said that I call him daddy. She says, I feel like he raised me. She said, all my other relationships, she said, and excuse my French, these are her words, not mine. She said, I was the one with the biggest balls in the relationship. She said, those N words, and I'm quoting her, could not tell me what to do. She says, I cussed him up one side and down the other. But she said, when I got with him, he said, hey, baby, you ain't got to be like that with me. I want you to relax yourself. I want you to rest in your femininity. I got you. And she says, that's why she calls him daddy, because he made her feel like she ain't had to do all of that.
That ain't what I heard. The story that I heard was when they got together and stuff, they were at the house. He got out the VCR and he put in What's Love Got to Do with It, and asked her any questions. And it's been.
And they quickly rewind, fast forwarded to the end where she whooped his ass in the back of that limousine. How you doing, Dennis? And Rain, put your comment up there. It says most of our men are too effeminate. I won't say most. Some are, and some just don't know that they are. Some just need to be taught better. We love them all, right? We do, but we need to get more. And just the way he was moving that microphone up there, it was just a weird visual for me. But anyway, some of our men don't know that they are effeminate. They just don't know that, and they need to learn new processes. Maybe they need to hang around some, real men that could teach them about their roles in a relationship.
Right. Now, is it effeminate or simp? Isn't that the new word, simp?
No, there's a difference between being a simp. A simp, in y'all words, I mean, that's something that y'all brought back from the 80s and the 90s. It's a man that's just kind of, I'll pay your rent. I'll buy your dinner too, or whatever. But, babyface, that to me, that was a simp song. But effeminate is not knowing the proper order of things as far as what's expected of him. And not even just a relationship, but just in general, and what's expected of a woman, right? And I think it's effeminate for a man to get with a woman who browbeats him and, tells him, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. I think that's, she emasculates him. And I think it's effeminate for him to allow, her to do that to him. So, yeah, I just think we just need to relearn certain things, right? Doesn't make people bad. They just don't know. And Bella, yes, he says our community has mental illness and we all need some form of therapy. And I'm speaking for myself. I, need to go back. Pam Zion says, I commend Monique's husband for having her back. Yeah, I mean, like I said, what black woman don't want a man to have her back, Just saying. And Tiara, I hope I said that right. You corrected me. He says that man is supposed to be the head of the house. Let me see. Says that man is supposed to be the head of the house, and I think our people have become too comfortable with the systematic structure that was and has been set against us. You better preach. Yeah, we think that's normal. It's not normal. It's not normal for the woman to be the lead of the community, of the household. It's just not, right? And so that's foreign to us to see a black man speaking up on behalf of his black woman. We need to get used to seeing that, right?
See, but you're not on code, Demetria, with the women thing and the women movement. See, that's the problem. You're not on code. We can do anything a man, what's that you guys say? We can do anything a man can do. I can lead. I don't need no man in my life. I can do anything myself. I don't need no man. My father wasn't there for me. Even if my father was there, he was the only thing that I'm going to listen to. Ain't no man going to tell me what I can do, and I can do it myself. I'd rather struggle by myself and do it myself.
Shut up. I'm just playing. The Pioneer says, do you want a husband or a bodyguard? I want both, boo. At y'all, and I know you don't, but some of y'all that was listening to Kevin Samuels, he says, Donovan, you and this motherfucker cat. Kevin Samuels said, as a man, you should be able to protect your woman if some stuff go down. He said, learn some martial arts or some self-defense stuff. So I want both. I want a husband and somebody who could whoop ass if they need to. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to put my husband in a situation to where he is, could potentially lose his life. I'm wiser than that, right? But damn, if it came down to it, I want him to be able to at least put some bass in his voice. I'm just saying. But you said, if you want to talk trash, threaten people, and do whatever you like, when the consequences come, you look for a man to protect you, you need a bodyguard. Well, again, I don't suggest any woman put her man in that situation. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth when it comes to your man might have to go back up to the grocery store and whoop some ass because you don't know how to shut your mouth. Buy your groceries, take your ass home, and then everybody can live to see another day, right? But don't put your man in a situation to where some harm may come to him. And Al, you said before Greg died, he told Andy Cohen he don't get in women's business. He let his Nene speaks for herself. That's what Sydney should do. Let Monique talk. Nobody care about what he has to say. Well, again, I mean, that is Greg and can I say this? And this will probably be a little bit messy. Nene is also being sued by her new boyfriend and wife for alienation of affection for sleeping with her husband while they was together.
What?
So maybe Greg should have spoke up a little bit more instead of letting Nene run her mouth. But again, That's Greg, you know, but I don't know a lot about Nene, but she don't seem like the type of woman that would even allow her man to do any talking. So to me, that's an effeminate man that would sit back, well, I'm gonna let her do all the talking. I ain't got nothing to say. Because a man worth his weight going at least be able to give his woman an eye and be like, and she's gonna be like, oh, you right. Let me go on and be quiet. Okay.
Well, you know, I'm gonna have to agree with that, because in my latest legal entanglement, if the person's husband would have done, you know, and stood up like that, I probably wouldn't be in litigation right now.
Yeah, he sat back there. I mean, to Donovan's point, in the situation he was in, the lady's husband sat up there and watched her put her hands on Donovan. Now, what if Donovan would have just karate chopped her in her throat? Then, you know, it would have been the husband's fault.
Then I'd have to come at him because he's going to try to defend her. And now I got to take him out. And, you know, it'll just be a mess.
And it would have been his fault for not, you know, getting his woman to say, hey, I'm going to need you to go sit your ass down. Get out of this man's face, because what you're going to cause me to do is have to go to some fisticuffs with this man, because you are a usurping Jezebel and you don't know how to sit your black ass down and not have the sense God gave a cricket not to jump in a man's face. See, that kind of stuff turned me on. I'm just keep it real. If I wouldn't have, not that a man should have to talk to me like that, but I'm just telling y'all, men, y'all need to get in the habit of being able to have that conversation with your woman. If you can't have that conversation with her, then that ain't your woman. Just putting it out there. How you doing, Damon? And Dennis, you say, I can't believe you were not a fan of Monique on the Parkers, talking to Donovan. Yes.
Well, you know, you guys won't believe this. I'm not a fan of the Cosby Show. I'm not a fan of a lot of things. When the Cosby Show was popular, I was living overseas, and the Armed Forces Network didn't carry it at the time, so I didn't really catch on to that. And in the 90s, I was too busy in the military really to pay attention. I had child support payments and stuff, so I was working, so I didn't have time to really watch all that stuff.
Thank you, Miss Cook. I love and appreciate you for that. Thank you for the donation. You guys, we do have a Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, if you would like to donate to the channel. And I should say this, oh my God, Marcus, I saw that you put the link up in this thing, but for whatever reason, I skipped over. So please forgive me. If you guys are watching this on Facebook, click on the link. If you want me to read your comment, I will be more than happy to do that. And thank you, Marcus, for everything that you do. And Jacqueline says, hello, my favorite pair. Hello there. Pioneer says, both black men and the black woman have to do their part. Nobody gets a pass to shrink their responsibilities. Hey, baby, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. We both got a job to do, right? But we need to get back into figuring out what that is, right? Like, what is our role? And like I said to y'all, I am very fortunate that I saw that and an example from my parents. I can't remember a time when my mom was like, you don't tell me what to do. I'm the boss here. I mean, my mom was all right. You know, but like I said, a woman worth her weight. Shit, you ain't got to be doing all that with your man. If you know how to work it right, you can get him to do whatever you want him to do. You just can't be talking to him crazy, and vice versa. Al, he says, Monique already talks loud, and a lot of the world doesn't want to hear the echo mockingbird known as Sydney. Well, I mean, you know, you want to deduce that man down to a mockingbird because he sticks up for his wife. What does that really say about you? I'm just asking. Mr. Pybrand says, Donovan, I like your dark newsroom background you had up. Javine says, nobody talked about white folks more than Paul Mooney, yet his audience was mostly white people. Yeah, man, he did not play. He did not bite his tongue at all. One cool uncle, how you doing? He says, black ignorance is $1 billion business. You better say, you know what? We'll put that up there so people can see it. And the agitator says, I agree, Sister Demetri K. Sidney was correct for taking up for his wife. Yeah. You know, I mean, I don't know. Just I find that weird that people find that weird. It's weird. And facts not feelings. How you doing? Peace and love to you as well. And Lisa Price, how you doing? Says he did not speak up. He did not speak for her because he should have been stepped to DL when they first claimed he disrespected her. Maybe this would have not happened. Well, she said this was the first time that they had seen DL in a very long time. I don't know if Sydney was there at the venue or not. I'm not really for sure. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that could have happened, but I don't have a problem with Sydney defending his woman. And I really don't see why anybody else would either. Oh, Al says, brothers cut the BS. The only women that need to be calling you daddy are your children. But again, I mean, who are you to tell people what they woman should call them? I mean, you don't want to be called daddy, that's on you, you know. But as far as what another man wants to be called, I mean, that's if he like it, then I mean, I don't know. I don't get into um what other people like. You know what I mean? That doesn't really, I don't know. Don, he says, what about a eye poppy? Yeah, I mean, I know Donovan was called eye poppy a whole lot. And he didn't say, I ain't your poppy. You liked it, didn't you? See?
I did. Yeah,
Pioneer says, Donovan, what is that on your desk? A panther?
Yeah, right. That's that feral cat. This cat is now about 18 pounds. He's huge. Killing everything.
The agitator says, I love the way Monique and Sydney are with each other and how they respect each other is awesome. He allows her to be who she was made to be, a woman. Man, this deserves a highlight. It really does. Because I know y'all get it, but I'm just going to pretend that some people don't. When a man does what he's supposed to do in a relationship, and I know a woman's supposed to do her thing too, but when he does what he's supposed to do, that woman can rest easier in her femininity and not have to feel like she got to be, going hard in the paint with him. You got a man who, is going to take all that toughness away by walking in his masculinity. Then, yeah, I mean, it makes it easy for me to be like, hey, baby, how you doing today? You had a good day at work? Okay. You know what I'm saying? Y'all follow me? Pioneer says, I wonder, when did humans discover cats? Was it ancient kids? Yeah. I think they talking about that on the Animal Wild Kingdom. I'm just playing.
Well, look, if it wasn't for cats, we would have been wiped out in the Black Plague, and it's cats that lead the way into the afterlife. And since we're talking about names like that, wasn't there a song by Biggie Smalls? I love it when you call me Big Papa.
I think that's the trump card right there, brother. I think that might be it. That's the nail in the coffin right there. Rain, I'm going to let your comment ride up there. Donnie says, your cat is big as my dog or a little bigger. That is
I had a cat named Felix, and Dimitri will tell you about this cat. This cat was over 30. He was about 30 pounds at his heaviest. 30 pounds.
Brother Samuel said the most honorable Elijah Muhammad taught that the black man is God. God is alpha, rational. The powers that be wants the black man to be beta, emotional, so he's not a threat to him. You better preach. You better preach. I'm going to leave that up there, okay? Lisa, he says, as her husband and manager, you check the behavior in the beginning. Yeah, well, I could concede that. I agree with you on that one. And let's see here. I got some spam in the comments section.
I already took care of it.
Thank you, brother. Love and appreciate you. Dusty Hotep says, yeah, they strong and independent. You talking about black women? Well, we don't. I'm gonna tell y'all this. A lot of black women don't want to be that. But, some circumstances.
But then why are you letting the minority talk for the majority? When are y'all going to start checking these women?
I'm going to let one of my Muslim brothers put it up in the comment section as to what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said about black women being the way they are. Why was that? I'm not going to say. I'm just seeing somebody put it in the comment section because I don't want it to come from me. And let's see. Ali says, now I do like Sydney made the Mexicans cut the lawnmower off so the people can hear Monique talking. That's power. Drizzy how you doing? You say DL, Steve Harvey, Oprah, Tyler Perry, Gayle King, TD, Snakes, and many others are gatekeepers, buffers used to mislead and keep the black people sleeping and oppressed. Time to wake up. Yes, and that's what Malcolm X said in the beginning of this live, that, they get entertainers, he said, puppets and clowns to come and mislead black people and pretend though they are the gatekeepers. How you doing, Sharon? And Rain, you talking about that of Nene, but she says, keep your legs closed to married men, Miss Leaks. Yeah, she said that to one of the other ladies on the show years ago, and I've seen that trending around, like, you ain't taking your own advice? Yes. And Jessica, he says, didn't Tupac say that in the song? Now give it to me, daddy, and tell me how you want it. And we love Pac. Right. But Monique is saying, daddy, then, oh, it's a horrible shame. Damien says, too much drama for your mama. What the F? TG Hamilton, how you doing? Says, hashtag dead at since God gave a cricket. Too funny. I'm just saying, it's just, a lot of people don't got that much sense. And y'all know that a cricket just hops all over the place. It just hops. It doesn't, I don't even know if it really thinks about where it's hopping. So how much sense does that really have if you just hopping? I don't know. Diane says, I was telling Jason Black last night, I was bragging on the fact that you are a licensed pilot. Donovan, yes, licensed pilot. Nubian Crystal, how you doing? I'll say to you as well. And the agitator says, you said what, Sister Demetra? You said what, Sister Demetra K? The sense God gave her a cricket. Yeah, not a lot of sense. So that's really bad. TJ Hamilton says, Monique is from Baltimore. I'll just leave that there. Enough said.
Wait. Are we saying that crickets don't have a lot of sense? Is that what we're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, what happened to Jiminy Cricket in Pinocchio? Wasn't he the conscience of Pinocchio?
He was a conscience of a puppet. I'm just saying.
A living puppet.
Yes.
Okay.
a puppet. And Thierry says, I lost respect for my soon-to-be ex-husband due to him not being capable of leading the household. It shouldn't have been me. Our divorce proceedings will be heard tomorrow. I got tired. Yeah, I mean, listen, we want a man to lead. We really do. It's hard being the lead. And I'm sorry that you're going through a divorce. I know that it's very painful, even though, you got tired of it. I mean, it's never fun to have to go through something like that. And only see him, he says, I'm pretty sure most men don't mind being called daddy with a capital D. Yeah, some men say they like it. And Ali says, you could call me Poppy. Your man just call me.
You could call me Ray, or you could call me Jay, or you could call me, remember that commercial?
Or you could call me Poppy. All right. And CG says, good evening, Donovan Sadiq and Demetra K. And how you doing? And Jan Michael, he says, let it ride. Haha. No, don't let the name fool you. I'm a man. And Samuel, how you doing? He says, Queen, I like your black family to I like our black family to handle things behind the scenes and air out their differences. Monique weathered the storm. The best revenge is to do good. I agree with that. And as humans, it's hard, right? Like we want to get back. We do it because it's just like, that's our flesh telling us, man, you got to get them back. You can't let God handle this. You can't let the universe handle it, but we have to. I really believe that we do have to fight our flesh and say, while it would feel good to bust all their windows and flatten their tires or do back to them or air them out, don't do that. They got theirs coming.
Right. But it's like our justice system. Well, what do you think the justice system is? That has nothing to do with justice. That has to do with revenge. That has to do with revenge. And we talk, these people that call themselves Christians and stuff like that. It's a revenge system at the end of the day. It's for you to get your pound of flesh from a person that might have killed your loved one and whatever. It's a revenge system. And that's all it is.
I agree with you. And Brother Samuel, you say when men say things like, who's your daddy, subconsciously pushes incestuous relationships. You say European lifestyles. I mean, I guess that's a way of looking at it. I don't think I would want to do that. And you have a fantastic week too, Jafia. Be safe out there. And Gigi, how you doing? He says, Monique is doing way too much. Yeah, some people have said that. Let's see who else came on here.
Before you get to that, okay, if people are saying Monique is doing way too much, after 13 years of getting it in the keister for 13 years and losing massive amounts of money, the little get back that she can get, I mean, you really think she's doing too much at this point after all that's happened to her? So let me talk about my current, or not talk about it, but let me mention my current litigation. Demetra, do I deserve what's happening to me right now? But I got to sit there and take it.
Or do you?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm going to win in the end. But the point is, though, I would love to do it another way, but I can only do it a certain way. So it's like, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But I think what she's doing is nothing compared to what has been done to her over a 13-year period.
Yes, indeed. And Whoopi Rock, I hope I said that right. It says this is and thank you so much, Samuel. We love and appreciate you for that. And you say this is a greater movement. The giants who make history stand up. God have enough and hear the cry of his children. Yes, and that's kind of where I was going with that. I mean, somebody got to take the stand. Like, if not her, who? Then why is it Monique? Why, after all these years that DL was talking bad about her, nobody pulled him to the side and say, "Hey, man, I think you probably need to stop." Why didn't anybody get in his ass when he agreed with white supremacist Don Imus when he called black women on a basketball team nappy-headed hoes? And he said, well, they are some nappy-headed hoes. He agreed with them. But ain't nobody mad about that. I know it was years ago, but I'm just proving the point, right? I'm trying to anyway. And the agitator says that cricket just hopping. Yes, indeed. Brother Sammy says, not unless they are speaking as mama and daddy, as a husband and wife. And yeah, that's what they were saying. That's how they reference each other. That guy from Texas, how you doing? He says, peace and blessings, brothers and sisters. Yes, indeed. And Damon says, keep it simple. Just call me Pops. Hashtag Fred Sanford. And the Pioneer says, is revenge a bad thing? I don't know. I mean, it all depends on what system you believe in, you know. The Bible says, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, right? And the Pioneer says, I don't see revenge is necessarily a bad thing. I mean, it feels good, but I don't know. Sometimes I'm one of those people, I like to let people get theirs on their, own accord, because in that same vein, if you're out doing bad to people, might that come back to you? And so it just keeps going around. It's like, you think about gang violence, right? When one person gets shot from one set, what do? They come back and they shoot one of their people, and it just goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But when does it end, right? Just asking. And let's see here. And Whoopi Rocky says, how long was she silent? DL is an arrogant man. Speak ill about all black people, and that's okay. Then, yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, how long is she supposed to take it, And Moni says to Demetria, it's always nice to hear you. I'm so glad you got your beautiful makeup on and the wonderful new way you got your hair. I like it. It's cute and fun. I thank you for that.
You got makeup on?
I mean, I got some eyeliner and some lipstick.
Yeah, I was gonna say eyeliner and some lipstick. That's about it.
I mess with my face too much to wear makeup. Let's see. Donnie says, did you look into the anti-slap counter lawsuit, Donovan?
Yeah, no. Well, actually, I won my two lawsuits. The thing is, the litigant sued me for civil harassment, and basically everybody can see that she did that to be retaliatory. And once again, it's another example. And it happens mostly in domestic violence cases where the women weaponize the justice system against the man. But this is a civil harassment case. Everybody sees right through it. So they're not even she's going to lose the case. And then, of course, she's going to pay my attorney fees and we'll go on our way.
Dusty Hotep, I'm going to leave your comment up there because that indeed did happen. But y'all mad with Monique? Maybe I missed it. Maybe I glossed over a bunch of comments, but I didn't see what made Monique wrong and DL right. But I'm glad that you put that up there because that is true. He did do those things. So Sunlight says, in the words of Florida, violence only begets violence. Laugh out loud. Pioneer says, I understand the analogy. However, when the LAPD kills a gang member, they know better than to retaliate or seek revenge. So revenge and power often goes together. I guess I could see that, Like if y'all ever watched The Color Purple, didn't Celie get a little revenge on Mr. Daddy?
Diary of an Angry Black Woman. Didn't what's her name get a little revenge on old boy who left her?
Yeah, I mean, Celie spit in his lemonade. She didn't have any power, but he didn't know she did it. T.G. Hamilton. It says Baltimore hood or not. I want Monique to win. DL totally could have had a conversation offline with her and never spoke on it on his his radio show, especially since she wasn't there to defend herself. And that's what she said. She said, y'all want me to take it behind closed doors, but DL Hughley been running me low for years out in the public, and nobody had a problem with it. But because I took his ass to task on the stage, people are mad. Oh, there's a decent way to do it, but he been indecent with her unapologetically, and now he wants to play the victim. And I'll say that about DL Hughley. He's good at playing the victim. It's like, so you just want to gloss over all the stuff you said about everybody else, like I said, and Donovan said, Angela Stanton ran up on him in the airport and he, security! Thinks he just wanted to ask him a question like, you got something to say to me? You've been, running me low on the air, but here I am. Go ahead. And he hollering for security. Okay. And let's see here. LM3 says, sound like Donovan is dealing with an Amber Heard starter kit.
If you guys, well, I don't even have to say it. Demetria's met this lady before. She's a basic narcissist, basically.
Yeah, she's a little touched in the head. Thank you so much, Pioneer. And we are about to get out of here. And the agitator, you say, oh, yeah, I forgot that George Lopez and Bill Maher sure did make comments that DL defended both of them with his Sammying ass. Yep, he surely did. Brother Sammy, you say, the Quran says, retaliation is prescribed in matters of the slain, but don't exceed the limit. The Bible says an eye for an eye. It also says, how many times shall my brother offend me and I forgive him? 7 times 70. Verses that must be understood in proper context. Yeah, so.
Yeah, and you know what? A lot of Christians always say throughout the Old Testament, whatever, but that exact verse right there, I believe, I'm not a scholar or anything like that, but I believe Jesus said it is better and preferred that you forgive the ones who do bad against you. But if you must have revenge, no more than 7 times 7, and so on, so on, so forth. It's funny how they always leave that out. These super Christians, they always leave that part out.
Because they don't read the Bible. And Come Again says, handle it behind the scene. He says, because we still want to impress. Even Barack is just a ninja to some people, but you go ahead on and keep looking over your shoulder, worrying about them. Very well said. Brother Samuel says, Monique began singing a solo. However, she is now developing a choir. Yeah, she's got people who are supporting her. So, and I happen to be one of them. And Harley says, if it was Rihanna saying what Monique said, so-called blacks would be here for all of it. Yes, indeed. You ain't lying, but they just don't like her. I mean, let's just keep it real, right? That guy from Texas said Monique even checked Kramer from Seinfeld when he called a black person the N-word during a comedy show. Yeah, so Monique ain't new to this. She's been out there, as people say, speaking truth to power. So anyway, y'all, that's our time. We love and appreciate y'all. I'm doing the raw vegan diet, the fruits and vegetables. So I'm going to go have my mango or something. But anyway, y'all, we love and appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here with us for this 2 hours on this Sunday evening. We will be back the Wednesday with Walter Wealth Wednesdays. He's going to be bringing us information and news, I guess we can use on the financial side of it. And Donovan and I will do a podcast on Tuesday. It won't be live, but we'll put it out there. And of course, you guys can look forward to my videos throughout the week. Again, if you guys would think about becoming a member, it's fairly inexpensive. I think it's like $2.99 at the very least to become a member, or think about donating to the Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo, or whatever. And then for those of you guys who are members already and donate, we love and appreciate you all. And for those of you guys who want to and can't, we love you too. So you guys be safe out there. And yes, Damon, stay strong. And we will see y'all later.
Be one.
Peace. Thank you, Jessica Jackson.